Welcome to your abundance reset flow. Today is not about doing more or pushing yourself harder. It's about slowing down, connecting to your breath, and creating space in your mind and body. As we move through this practice, I want you to notice where you feel the most tension and see if you can soften that with each exhale. Instead of striving, we'll practice allowing. And instead of forcing, we'll practice receiving. No props are necessary for this practice. However, if you have blocks, feel free to grab those. This will be a music-free yoga flow. However, I have created a perfect playlist that pairs nicely with this practice that I will link down below, or you can use your favorite music. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and get started in a seated position. Now that you're in your seated position, let's go ahead and close down the eyes. Really ground down through the sits bones, lengthen the spine, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, and slightly dip the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. And let's just take a few breaths here together. So take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale all the air out. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale all the air out. Another deep inhale here. And as you exhale, think, I release urgency. One more breath here. Slowly flutter open the eyes. Moving into neck stretches. Placing your right hand on the mat. Allow the right ear to soften towards the shoulder. Maybe you bring in blocks here by stacking them, resting the elbow on the block. Allow the head to just relax into the palm of the hands. Extending the left arm long. Send the breath to the side of the neck. Maybe even take your hand and massage it out. Continuing with the affirmation, I release urgency. Bringing the head back to center, rolling out the shoulders. And let's move over to the other side. Allow the neck to open up, releasing the urgency. Bringing the head back to center. Roll out the shoulders. If you use blocks, move them out of the way. Hands down by your side. Lift the left arm up and over. Deep stretch. Roll the chest open. And flow over to the other side, doing the same thing here. Opening that chest, rolling open. Feeling a nice stretch from the fingertips to the hip. Pulling up and out of that hip. Back to center. Flowing over to the other side. This time bring the hand behind the head. Open up the chest. Bring the elbow down to the ground. Back up. Extend the arm out. Flow to the other side. Doing the same thing here. So bend the elbow. Deep stretch. Rotate the elbow down to the floor. Back to center. Extend the arm. Let's flow through a couple more here with your own breath. We're creating this space here. Let's do one more each side. Back to center. Making your way off to a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. Inhale the chest forward, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Releasing that tension. Flowing through a few of these with your own breath. Finding any movement that your body is calling here. This is your practice. Allow yourself to just play here. Maybe you bring in some barrel rolls, chest down and around and up. Make sure to go the other way. A few more here, whatever style you've chose. Bringing it back to neutral spine. With your left hand planted on the mat, inhale the right arm up. Exhale the arm through and hover. Inhale back up. Exhale, thread it through and hover. Inhale back. This time as we come back down, our ear and shoulder will meet the mat and we're staying for the stretch. Arm can be up overhead. And if you have any tension in the middle back, I want you to take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale, melting into the pose. Pressing into that left hand. Inhale the right arm back up. Exhale, bring it back to neutral spine. Flush it out with a couple cat-cows here before we move off to the other side. Neutral spine here. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, thread it through and hover. Inhale back up. Exhale, hover. Inhale back up. This time as you come down, stay for the stretch. Pressing into the hand, allowing the left arm to reach high as you inhale. Exhale, neutral spine. Blow it out. Couple cat-cows here. Find your way back to your neutral spine. Press into the hands and curl the toes. Lift the hips to the sky, chest to the thighs, downward facing dog. Finding any movement that feels nice here in your body. Option to bring the feet wide on the mat and shake the hips side to side. Or maybe you want to roll out to a plank and back to downward facing dog. Whatever you need here, get it. And then I want you to find stillness. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale all the air out. Another deep inhale here and a long exhale. Find your way to the top of the mat. With your feet hip distance apart, just fold over the legs, grabbing opposite elbows and just swaying side to side here. Relaxing the head and neck. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs. Crown of the head reaches forward. Flat back. Long line from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Exhale, fold. Slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra. Roll the shoulders back. Arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down by your side. Dip the chin, roll it down. Warming up the spine here. Roll it back up as you inhale, articulating the spine. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. As you exhale, I want you to twist off to the right, bringing the arms down to the T. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist off to the other side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bring the elbows down as you cactus through the arms. Option to bring the arms all the way down to your ribs, creating space. Inhale, the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down by your side. Dip the chin, roll it down. Let's repeat that. So inhale up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, elbows down. Open the chest. Create that space. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down by your side. Roll the spine down. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back to your plank. Drop your knees, drop your hips, shine your chest forward. Shake out the shoulders here. Releasing the tension, the urgency. Exhale, press the hips back, reach through the arms into a child's pose. Rolling it back up into your plank and back to your downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step it in between the hands, lower the back knee. Inhale the arms up overhead into your low lunge. See if you can step that foot out a little bit further to get a nice stretch in that left hip flexor. We're going to move into our runner's lunge. So if you prefer blocks for that, you can set the blocks off to the side. Shift the hips back, straighten the leg, flex the foot, and fold over the leg here. Squaring both hip points off to the front of the mat, so maybe you have to pull that left hip back to do that. Feeling that nice stretch in that hamstring. Remembering that clarity comes when we stop forcing. What are you forcing here in this pose? See if you can soften that forcing. Rolling back into the foot. Left hand will stay on the mat. Right arm reaches to the ceiling into a twist. Staying here, or option to bring the foot into the glute. Making sure to roll that shoulder open. Gaze at the ceiling. Scan the body. Where are you forcing in this pose? And send the breath to that area. Dropping the foot if you have a hold of it. Finding your way back to your downward facing dog. Taking time here. And let's make our way to the top of the mat and flow it out. Inhale, hands to shins into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll it up. Roll the shoulders back, arms up overhead. Find your twist as you exhale. Inhale back to center. Other side. Center. Exhale, bring the elbows down. Open that chest. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands down by your side. Dip the chin, roll it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to your plank, find your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Moving off to the other side, so left leg reaches high. Exhale, step it in between the hand, drop the back knee. Inhale as you rise up. Finding a nice stretch in that right hip flexor. What can you do to soften that area if it's tight? Shift the hips back. Straighten the leg, fold over the leg. Square the hips off. Rolling into the foot, find your twist on the other side. Option to grab the foot. Making sure to roll that shoulder open. Releasing the foot. Finding your way back to downward facing dog. And step to the top of the mat. Inhale brings you into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll it up. Roll the shoulders back, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. We're going to move into our dancing warrior. Bring the weight into the left foot. Step the right foot back into your high crescent lunge. If you are tight in the hips, you can always widen your stance here. Your knee is going to want to be over the ankle and over the second toe. Once you have that set up, inhale the arms up overhead, having the shoulders over the hips. If you lose your balance, it's okay. Spin the back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Open up into your warrior two. Adjusting the legs as needed. Chest will face forward. Shoulders over the hips. See if you can inch that front foot a little bit more to go a little bit deeper. Making sure to have a micro bend in the back leg. Once you have that set up, look forward. Inhale the palm forward. Exhale, flip it back. Reverse your warrior. Making sure to pull that front knee over that second toe. Don't allow it to cave in. Bring left elbow to the knee. Extend the top arm up and over. If you need a block here, feel free to bring in the block to get deeper into the pose. Roll that shoulder open. Bring the arms down to the mat. Reset the feet and press it back to a downward facing dog. Rolling out to your plank, drop the knees, find your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Step to the top of the mat. And let's move to the other side. So inhale the chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll it up. Arms up overhead. Hands to heart center. Bringing the weight into the right foot now. Step it back to your high crescent lunge. Setting up the lower body first. And once you have that set up, inhale the arms up overhead, shoulders over hips. And in this pose, I want you to think, where can I soften? What am I forcing here? Send the breath to the area. Open up into your warrior two. Inhale the palm forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Bring the forearm to the knee. Deep stretch. Lift up and out of that hip. A nice stretch from the fingertips to the hip. Bring the hands down to the mat, reset the feet, find your way back to downward facing dog. Roll it out to your plank. Drop the knees, drop the hips, shine the chest forward. Press it back to child's pose. Roll it back out to a neutral spine. Drop the hips. We're going to flow through a few of these. So child's pose. Roll it forward. Releasing any tension that we have still remaining in the body. Allowing that energy to flow evenly, to create space for receiving. And last one here. And find your way to a seated position. With your legs extended long on your mat. You can always bring in the blocks for our forward fold here. So legs extended, crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling, arms up overhead. Lengthen the spine and exhale, hinge at the hips until you feel the most resistance. Wherever that is, allow the hands to meet the mat or the blocks and stay there. Really lift up and out of the hips. And as you're in this pose and you're softening, then you can inch the hands forward or maybe slide the blocks to allow you to go deeper. The goal is not to touch the toes here. Our goal in this flow is to release resistance and tension that we're holding in our body so that we can bring in more abundance. And as you're in this pose, I want you to repeat to yourself, my body is safe to release. My body is safe to release. And as you say it, go deeper into the pose. My body is safe to release. Slowly back out of the pose as you restack your spine. And find your way to your back. Coming into our waterfall pose. If you have a block, I always think it feels nice to bring it underneath the sacrum and just allow the legs to extend, toes pointing to the ceiling. Finding any movement here that feels nice. I think it always feels nice to pump the ankles, move them side to side. We forget that these feet carry our whole body around all day long. And before we move into our spinal twist, take this time to find any movement that your body is craving, any pose that I did not go over. When you're ready, go ahead and meet with your knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Shift the hips off to the right, cactus through the arms, and allow the knees to fall off to the left. And as you hold this pose, I want you to repeat, I allow abundance to find me. Abundance flows to me effortlessly. Good things are allowed to happen. And shift the hips back to the center. Shift the hips off to the left. Allow the knees to fall to the right. I am open to receiving. Abundance flows to me effortlessly. Bring the feet back to center. Let's find our way to Shavasana, whatever that looks like for you. Once you found your position, if you're laying down, roll the shoulders back. Flip the palms up to receive. Allow the body to be supported by your mat. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Relax the jaw. Soften the space between your eyebrows. And as you lay here, I want you to think on, what am I trying to force? And where can I soften in my life instead of controlling? Shavasana. Start to bring your awareness back to the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Possibly a full body stretch. When you're ready, roll off to your favorite side. Keeping the questions with you throughout your day. Where am I forcing? And what can I do to soften instead of control? Making your way to a seated position where we'll close out our practice with one final breath together. Hands down by your side. Inhale the arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands through heart center. I want to thank you for sharing your practice with me today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. And I'll see you at day 3 of our abundance reset.